Squad 1.
Our team is a regional team comprised of Chesterfield, Henrico, Hanover, which are departments that were represented in our response. So they responded to Grayson County. They are in the Southwest Virginia region. When they got there, they found that there was a lot of devastation and a lot of infrastructure missing, and they needed more help. What our team does is help kind of get the 30,000-foot view of an incident, whereas our boat rescue teams, our helicopter teams, they are focused on individual missions within the greater incident. So what our team provides is kind of an oversight and manages those resources from a larger perspective.
The Virginia Department of Emergency Management activated the state swiftwater response teams, so Virginia Task Force 8, which is sponsored by Chesterfield Fire and EMS, our technical rescue team, and our scuba rescue team. We were alerted to deploy to Wythe County.
If the dam goes, we're going to go in that current.
The flooding came. When it did arrive, we were already in position. We had about 18 consecutive hours of sustained operations that we did between the planning and the actual response time in the county. Most residents that were in Wythe County told us that this was the worst flooding they'd seen in their entire lives. And when we're talking about residents that were anywhere between 50 and 80 years old that were telling us this is the worst they'd seen. So our primary missions were assist in known flooding areas, and then as the flash flooding increased, we were handling their 911 response calls. We would respond to vehicles into water. We went to houses that were being inundated by water, where water was rapidly rising. A lot of elderly that needed assistance to either be evacuated over water to safer areas or physically rescued from their houses because the water was rising too fast. When you would have large amounts of water and the debris that was involved with neighborhoods, when fences, backyards, animal pens, propane tanks, campers, these type of things are washing down the stream as you're trying to cross them to actually set up some sort of rescue system to evacuate people. Definitely challenges that we don't deal with on a regular basis. We train for, we talk about, we simulate those, but when it's actually occurring in the midst of a tropical storm, it's very humbling.
The winds had a huge effect, but I give it to those pilots up there. They kept that aircraft nice and steady the whole time. We were tasked with starting south around Damascus and heading kind of northeast, I guess, up the river. And that's when we saw our first rescue. It was an adult male and female down on some logs in the middle of the river. The female she was wearing like a pink hoodie, so that stood out like night and day. You know, we saw that, circled back around, and we came up with a rescue plan and was able to effect that rescue successfully. Continued on the river and ended up finding 2 adult males in the middle of nowhere on this road. No access, they weren't going to be able to get out. It was either washed out or trees. So we ended up, I sent one of the technicians down, and we ended up bringing both of them up. So this was the first time in 13 years that we have gotten activated, been deployed by VDEM, gone to the location and actually effected a rescue of live people that needed our help. Feel very good, all the hard work that many people have put into this program in training and it showed 100%.
We came back from this deployment with 0 injuries, and that is a testament to the amount that the county supports our teams to be able to train on a regular basis. At the end of the day, we assisted in either contacting and evacuating about 90 people, 90 residences that we had in the county.
Just flying over and seeing the widespread flooding and how these people are just, I mean, they have a long road ahead of them because it's just catastrophic flooding down there, and you know, people lost everything.
There was an awe factor with Mother Nature, and the awe factor was we're in the middle of a tropical storm, heavy winds, heavy rain bands, and we're watching the creeks and the rivers rise around us as we're making these evacuations and these rescues that are occurring. The exposure that these younger members had on the team that they'll carry now through the next decade or 2 decades of their career here in Chesterfield County Fire and EMS is going to do nothing but be benefit to future disasters that occur and future emergencies that occur here in the county.
As far as Chesterfield, you know, the Board of Supervisors, the county administrator, the fire chief, we've just gotten so much support from our county. So I want to thank them personally, you know, from the bottom of my heart, and I know I speak on behalf of Virginia Heart, National Guard, the Virginia Task Force 8 when I say that, so thank you so much.